Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here, and in California, Google unveiled a lineup of Pixel 9 products, even a new watch, new earbuds as well, including the Pixel 9. Now this is their base model of their lineup, and even though it's their base model, the Pixel 9 still has their latest Tensor G4 chipset that all the Pro models have as well. Speaking of, I did just unbox the Pixel 9 Pro and Pro XL. I will link to that video down below if you missed it. Also, their new Fold, the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, that video is coming very soon. I'm excited for you to see it, so be sure to subscribe so you're notified when that video goes live. Anyways, in this video, we're gonna do a quick unboxing of the Pixel 9, see what we get in the box, and then put them side by side with the Pixel 9 Pro, just about the same size, and the Pixel 9 Pro XL, so you can sort of compare, contrast. I'm gonna talk about the differences between these phones. Also, I will link to the best deals, trade-in deals for the Pixel 9 lineup down in the description if you're interested. Let's get started. Also, expect some camera comparison shots, not just photos, but videos as well, especially with that telephoto lens, because that's the difference. The packaging this year is just a little bit different with a couple tabs on the sides and just slide it on out. Inside the box, up towards the top, we just have our standard booklets and SIM ejection tool. Setting our phone to the side with that new camera bar design. Last but not least in the box is a USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable. On the front, just gives you information about where everything is, and sliding it out, here is a first look at that porcelain color, a more glossy back on the Pixel 9. While it boots up, let's take a closer look at the hardware. Down at the bottom, you've got a speaker, USB Type-C port, microphone, and our SIM card slot, which has a slight curve to the side. Along the right side, you've got your volume rockers and power button right above it. And notice the sides are more matte, so flipped between the Pro model. Make note of that camera bump up towards the top. You've got a microphone and I believe our ultra wideband antenna. And then along the left side, just more antennas. Close look at the back, just a slight G for some branding, and we have our dual camera system. You get a 50 megapixel wide angle lens and a 48 megapixel ultra wide angle lens with macro focus. Now you don't get a telephoto lens like the Pro, but we will test all of these out in just a second. Anyways, I'm gonna run through the startup process, talk about anything that's noteworthy. First things first, this is a new ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. So setting our thumb down, getting that all set up, and I have to say, it is much improved. And face unlock, which does work with your secure apps like banking apps. You can get that set up and you can use both at the same time. The regular 9 does have Google's AI built in. Gemini, Add Me, screenshots, all of those new features. Also car crash detection and Pixel Satellite SOS. Highly recommend turning on instant translations and identifying music around you. Now playing is amazing. They're all set up and ready to go with that 6.3-inch Actua display, which is an OLED screen at 1080p resolution. It does go all the way up to 120 hertz. However, this is where our differences start. Oh, and just to show you how quick it is, I'm too excited to test it out. This is the new ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. It's almost instant. It's really accurate. I'm happy they included it. As promised, a quick side-by-side of the hardware of the Pixel 9 and Pixel 9 Pro. You'll notice right away that glossy back as opposed to a matte back on the 9 Pro, and then it sort of flip-flops. You've got more of matte rails on the 9 and glossy rails on the 9 Pro. You also notice a missing camera lens. The 9 does not include that telephoto lens. It's the same two main and ultra wide cameras, but unfortunately is missing the telephoto, so you're gonna get better zoom shots out of the Pro lineup. And since it has the same screen size, 6.3 inches, it's going to be very similar in terms of size difference between the 9 and the 9 Pro XL. So just showing those off side by side, just for a quick comparison. We'll show the screens in just a second. On the Pro models below the flash is a temperature sensor, so you can check the temperature of objects, even yourself. The Pixel 9 doesn't have that. And also a difference in focus. This has single zone autofocus. This one has multi-zone, so expect autofocus to be more accurate on the Pro models. The display does have some differences. 2700 nits versus 3000 nits of peak brightness, so the Pros will get a little bit brighter. And screen resolution difference, you get a higher resolution on the Pro, and you can even customize the resolution. You can turn it down on the Pro models, which will help save battery life. I like to use the full resolution, but also want to talk about smooth display. Both go up to 120 hertz. Both look really smooth. However, the 9 only goes down to 60 hertz, so between 60 and 120, whereas the Pro is between 1 and 120. So it will help save battery life, especially when you have static content like an always-on display. By the way, that front-facing camera is updated on the Pro. You get a 10.5 megapixel on the 9, and the 9 Pro is a 42 megapixel. We'll compare these. Going into the camera app, you'll already notice some differences. First of all, the 5X shortcut on the Pro model. You do get a 2X shortcut. We'll test and compare these two out in just a second. There are, however, other differences in the camera. So if you go into settings, on the 9, you get brightness, shadow, and white balance, but on the Pro, you can change your focus, your shutter speed, and your ISO, and you'll see they're all listed up towards the top. So more Pro controls on the Pro model. And even if you swipe up and get into settings, you'll notice there's a Pro section where you can change to 50 megapixels and change between JPEG, RAW, and even the lens selection. Another difference is the resolution of the video. You can shoot up to 4K on the Pixel 9, but on the Pro, you actually can go up to 8K, which is how they upscale it. It actually takes some time to upscale it, so we'll actually go out and test this out, but be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Check out this weather right now. It is 108, it feels like 108 degrees out there. So yeah, be sure to subscribe and give this a thumbs up for that. So we'll start by filming with the front-facing camera in 4K resolution. You should notice a video quality difference. I'll go back and forth with the microphones, but I'm assuming the microphones are the exact same. So just a quick test there. And now a test of the rear camera in 4K of the 5X lens moving along, just so you can see the detail, the stabilization of these. I'm trying to focus on the same subject so you can get a equal comparison of both. The 9 actually zooms up to 7 times, and here's just a comparison of that. On the screen, there is a noticeable difference in the quality of these shots. Now here's a quick comparison of the 4K main lens and the 8K on the Pro. Again, it takes some time for the boosting to actually happen. It's software upscaling. You can actually use the 5X lens on the Pro as well to shoot in 8K if you'd like to, but here's just a quick example. I'm walking, now I'm gonna stop, pan just a little bit, just so you can see if there is that much of a quality difference after it upscales it using software. Anyways, I also went around and just took a bunch of pictures with the 5X zoom on both phones, obviously digital with the regular 9, but keep in mind anything over 5X will also be significantly better on the Pro models in terms of zoom quality. So this is 5X side by side. I'm not gonna lie, the Pixel 9 actually did a really good job still with their 5X lens, but lower light, you're definitely going to start noticing more of a difference in terms of the quality. There's that selfie comparison. On the very hot day, I did notice the Pixel 9 Pro has a bit of a wider angle lens with the front-facing camera, so you can get a little bit more in your shot with your selfie camera. While both of these have the Tensor G4 chip, the Pro models actually have a vapor chamber cooling system, so a sustained cooling system for those longer gaming sessions, which will help keep the phone cooler and your battery lasts a little bit longer. The Pixel 9 has 12 gigs of RAM and the Pro model has 16 gigs of RAM. However, the Pro model has a dedicated AI RAM partition, which uses up some of that 16 gigs, but again, that's really nice because the AI should be a little bit snappier on the Pro models. Anyways, that is it from me on the comparison between the Pixel 9, Pixel 9 Pro, and why not? Let's grab that Pixel 9 Pro XL. But anyways, a lot more to come on these phones, so be sure to click that subscribe button. Be sure to follow me on various social media. I'll link to it down below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.